Hey everybody, welcome back to Esoteric Ramblings. I'm Jesse Arnold, and today I'm going to be giving you my comic rundown for New Comic Book Day, Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to apologize first up for not having anything new next week. I'm sure I let all 15 of you down. Um, but hey, it was a busy week, just trying to cram a lot of stuff into the week before the weekend, and the weekend ended up being way busier than I expected. So I didn't get to do any reviews. But I will give you a little heads up. I'm going to be doing some new reviews of. I finally watched Invisible Man. Started watching Cobra Kai on Netflix. A couple other things here and there that I want to talk about movie TV wise. Probably doing some toy reviews, the G.I. Joe Classified series, a couple of new NECA figures, some things like that. So that's going to be coming up soon. But today, I'm going to be doing my comic haul, and we'll get things started. I'm going to do a little bit different today, and I've got my Patrick Gleason DC statue back here of Aquaman and Mera. I'll try to get a little zoom in on that then. Great statue. I just wanted to have a little something special in there today. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get started with the rundown. So I'm gonna go through the list alphabetical order, and then the top five will be at the end. So they won't be in the initial, yeah, you'll see. All right, first up is Amazing Spider-Man number 48, part of the Sin's Rising storyline. If you've been following this, it's all about Sin Eater and a bunch of different characters going on in Spider-Man's life and his past and history. So if you are a fan of Spider-Man, definitely want to be checking out Amazing Spider-Man. Kind of seems like a silly thing to say. If you like Spider-Man, read the comic, but you know. Marauders, issue 12. Kitty Pryde is back and badder than ever. I guess you'll see. I mean, those knuckle tats are a little intense. So pick up a Marauders 12 and see what that's all about. Star number 5. Whoop. The finale to the miniseries introducing us to Carol slash Captain Marvel's newest frenemy enemy? I don't know. Read the series to find out. But yeah, this is the end of Star. Pretty solid. Next up is X Factor number 3. The team continues to investigate a murder mystery of a mutant in Mojoverse. You can see the great spineless one down here. So yeah, Mojoverse. Anytime the X-Men travel to the Mojoverse is definitely a story I'm into. And X-Force number 12. This is they're doing a lot of setup for the Ten of Swords crossover coming from Hickman and team in the X world later this year. All right, next up, I'm going to do my favorite cover of the week, and this is probably not going to be a surprise, or maybe it is. I haven't really talked about a lot of this too much, but Josh Middleton's cover B to Wonder Woman 762. Just the bright primary colors on this are fantastic. Dynamic pose. Just really, really like the cover to this issue. Pretty much every cover he does is amazing. And yeah, so yeah, great Wonder Woman cover. Good work, Josh Middleton. All right, and now we're on to the top 5. I got my little cheat sheet over here with all the creative team. So that's what I'm looking at off camera here. First up is Avengers Empire Aftermath number 1. I don't know why they bother putting a number 1 on there, because this is probably the only Avenger Empire Aftermath issue we will ever get. Written by Al Ewing, art by Valerio Schiti, colors by Marte Gracia, and letters by VC's Ariana Mayer. This was a great issue to tie up what has been a great event in Empire. Really great series. Really loved Empire. And this issue does one of my favorite things in Marvel Comics is when you have the heroes getting to hang out and have some downtime and be themselves, be the people they are, not just the superheroes they are. So they're hanging out at a wedding. It's a party. Everybody's hanging out. There's, all sorts of things going on. But it's always great to just see the characters get to be themselves. I really appreciate that in comics. And I think Marvel does a really good job with that. DC does too in some of the other books. But I feel like Marvel really gets the the human side of their characters, and when we get to have issues like this, or there's definitely some really good ones in Spider-Man recently and different things like that. Yeah, and continuing that note is Fantastic Four Empire Fallout #1. Again, this is the Fantastic Four side of the epilogue to Empire. This was really cool, featuring the first family, and the kids, and the two kids they saved from the arena, the Kree and Skrull kids, and everything that happens there. Took a little bit of a twist with where I thought it was going to go, but not too big of a twist. But yeah, really good. Really liked it, and you get to see in that golden red silhouette in the background a character we have not seen for some time. And yeah, there is a pretty big bombshell that happens at the end of this issue. So for longtime Marvel fans and Fantastic Four fans, you definitely want to check this issue out. Oh, before I forget, again, writer for this is Dan Slott, art by Sean Isaacs, colors by Marcio Menez, letters by VC's Joe Caramanga. So great work on that issue. So that was 5. 4 up for #3 is Captain Marvel 21, the conclusion to the Empire storyline of the Accuser. So Carol got to take the hammer of Ronin and become an accuser for the combined Kree-Skrull Empire during the events of Empire. And it's a lot of times to say Empire, even though it's spelled differently for the 2 times I said it. But this is a nice conclusion to the series. Spoiler alert, if you have not been reading it, Carol gets to meet her sister that she didn't know she had. That's all I'll say about that. But it's really cool to get to see her meet someone new to come into her life. And again, it's got a lot of that human side to the story that I was talking about in the Fallout and Aftermath issues. We get to see them just being people. It's not just the actions and the heroics. So Captain Marvel 21, great issue from writer Kelly Thompson, pencils by Corey Smith, inks by Adriano Di Benedetto, colors by Tamara Bonvillain, and letters by VC's Clayton Cowles. #2 for the countdown is Wonder Woman 762, written by Mariko Tamaki, pencils by Carlo Barberi, inker Matt Santorelli, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, and letterer Pat Brosseau. This was a really fun issue. I feel like Wonder Woman over the last couple of years has really hit this kind of formula about introducing new characters and turning them into villains, or maybe because I've never read Wonder Woman until the New 52 series, I'm meeting characters that I'm meeting for the first time. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a very formulaic thing where she meets a new character, they seem to be friends, or she's done something in the past that's helped them, and then somehow that gets twisted against her and they become a villain. And maybe it's just super focused. My attention is super focused on Wonder Woman. But that said, that is a thing that's happening in this issue in a way, or this storyline. But I really like the way Mariko Tamaki is handling the story. It's really interesting. They're bringing Max Lord, who obviously is going to be a main part of the Wonder Woman 84 movie. But he's been a long time character in the DC universe. So seeing him back is pretty cool. And what's happening here. And I just, the biggest thing for me in this issue is the art. Carlo Barberi is doing a phenomenal job, I think, and the whole creative team in general. And I'm going to do something I don't normally do interior shots, but I wanted to show off because I was so impressed by this 2-page spread. You usually don't see huge splash pages like this, at least not so focused on the hero. So I was really blown away by this art. So it's just 2 pages of Wonder Woman in action, deflecting bullets. It's just, a real love letter, I think, to the character, and amazing art. So just really wanted to show that off. And now we're down to #1 for the week. No surprise, TMNT 109, with consulting story team of Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz, written by Sophie Campbell, art by Jody Nishijima, colors by Rhonda Pattison, and letters by Sean Lee. This issue is great. Just every time I read a new Turtles issue, I try to put my stack in order of the ones I'm going to look forward to reading the most last, so build up to what I think is the best. And that Turtles is always at the bottom of the list as far as last one I want to read, because I know even if it goes to a heavier place, which this series has done at times, I'm going to be the most satisfied reading that issue. So that's kudos to all the writers and creative team on that book for the last almost decade. I've been a Turtles fan since I was 8 or 9 years old, and it's been a part of my life for forever. So it's almost as much in my life as Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and other things. So they're doing some really cool stuff, taking the characters to places I didn't think I would ever see them. They're progressing the story. It's not just the same old four turtles versus the Foot and crazy other mutants. The whole Mutant Town storyline that's been going on for a while, where Baxter unleashed a mutagen bomb that converted a lot of people in New York City into mutants, and how they've now been isolated into their own kind of basically mutant ghetto inside of New York, has been really fascinating to see how the Turtles and our other hero characters adapting to this new reality. And it's been a lot of fun. So if you are not familiar with the current storyline, there's a lot of collections out. There's awesome trades. I'll do a rundown on the hardcover someday that collect all the miniseries into it. And they just launched a new #1 of the trade paperbacks from IDW that pick up, I believe, with issue 100 or 101 and are moving forward. So it's a new #1, but it's new #1 based on the new reality of the series. So yeah, so that's it for my comic rundown for September 9th, 2020. I'll be back next week with a new comic review, comic haul rundown. And like I said, I'll be doing some movie and show reviews or reactions, and a couple other things coming up on the channel. Before I go, I just want to take a quick moment to just say that, thank you for watching. I appreciate anyone who makes it this far. If you're watching and know anyone who'd be interested in this, please share, subscribe, all that jazz. It's just fun making this. I just do it for myself. It's not any big deal, but I enjoy doing it. If there's anything you want to see, or if you have any question, comments, please drop it in the comments, because that's where comments go. But I just wanted to say that there's a lot going on in the world. I live in America, so obviously I know more about what's going on here. There's struggles and pain and suffering all around the world, and if there's something you can do today to help make the world a little better for someone else who's suffering, see what you can do. And don't even necessarily do it for even expecting thanks. Just do it. Just do something nice. Be nice to the people around you. It's really easy to get caught up in all our own drama and all the own issues in our life. I know this. This is something I check myself daily on, and I don't always pass the check. So just from one person going day to day, trying to make it through all of this, to anyone who's watching, just be nice. Be nice, be kind. There's a lot of hate and pain and suffering and anger out there, and it's easy to get caught up in those things. It's easy to let those emotions run ragged and take over, because they're so I don't know what the word is. They're so combustible. It's so easy to react. It's so easy to follow those negative things. They are an easier path, but they take such a heavier toll on you in the long road and the people around you. And being angry all the time, it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt, unless you're the Hulk. And even then, like, obviously that's a constant struggle for him. Not trying to make light of situations, but there it is. I'm not going to keep going down this rabbit hole. Just whatever you can do today, even if it's just holding the door for someone, whatever, just do something nice. The world needs more kindness and love and peace. It doesn't mean you always have to agree with everything that's going on. But there's, my mom always taught me that you don't react to things that happen. You need to make a choice to act. is the better way to go. If you just react, you're just bouncing off whatever happened to you. But if you choose to act, you make a choice that you, in some small part, taking control of the situation, and not letting it just affect you. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna stop blabbering on. Thank you for listening to my ramble today. I'll be back again soon with some more stuff, and have a great day. We'll see you next time.